Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring the power of belief. It's something we hear a lot about.
hmm
But what does it actually mean? Like, what is true belief? And how can we actually cultivate it in our lives?
it really is a great question. And the source we're diving into today, I think it gets right to the heart of it. It's not just wishing or hoping for something. True belief is more about this deep, unshakable conviction that impacts everything you do.
Okay, so like it's almost like a lens maybe.
hmm
It colors how you see the world and the actions that you take.
Exactly. And what's interesting is the source makes this point about the placebo effect. You're probably familiar with it, but it's really like a prime example of this in action.
hmm
In some cases, just believing that you're receiving treatment can lead to actual physical improvements,
It's incredible. Even if it's like a sugar pill.
even if it's a sugar pill. Yeah.
Wow, so our minds can actually have that much of an influence on our bodies.
Mhm.
It's pretty amazing. I remember reading about a study where people with chronic pain experienced significant relief just from participating in a program that was focused on mindfulness and belief modification.
Oh, wow.
And it seemed like their belief in the possibility of healing actually helped them rewire their brains and reduce their pain.
That is a great example. And that speaks to this whole idea of the mind-body connection, which is something that the source really dives into as well. And essentially, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, they trigger a cascade of physiological responses in the body. So, for example, when you believe in your ability to, overcome a challenge, your brain is releasing hormones like dopamine and endorphins, which can boost your mood, increase your resilience, even improve your physical performance. But on the other hand, if you are constantly being bombarded with negative self-talk and doubt, your body is releasing stress hormones like cortisol, which over time can have some really detrimental effects on your health.
Right. It's like our beliefs create this kind of internal chemical cocktail,
Mm.
and it can either fuel our success or kind of sabotage it. So it's not just
Huh.
about positive thinking, but the actual physiological impact that that belief has on our bodies.
Exactly. And the source goes even beyond just individual impact, talking about how collective belief can actually shape entire societies.
Mhm.
I mean, think about, historical movements, movements for social change. These movements often start with just a small group of people, but those people deeply believed in the possibility of something better, a better world, even when they faced overwhelming opposition. And that unwavering belief, it became contagious, spreading to others, and then eventually creating a force powerful enough to, topple tyrants, overturn unjust laws, even reshape entire
Yeah,
systems.
it's like that saying, one person can make a difference, but a group of people can change the world.
Exactly.
But how do we, as individuals, how do we cultivate that kind of unshakable belief, especially when there's so much negativity and doubt around us in the world?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Souls actually provides some really practical strategies for this. And what I find helpful is that they're not about forcing belief or pretending that everything is, perfect and rosy. It's more about creating the right conditions for belief to kind of grow organically.
Okay. So what are some of those strategies? Can we unpack those a little bit?
Yeah, let's do it. One of the first practices that the source emphasizes is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is something that's often associated with meditation, right? But it's really just about bringing your full attention to the present moment without judgment.
Okay.
It's about noticing your thoughts and your feelings without getting completely swept away by them.
That sounds good in theory.
hmm
I'll be honest, I struggle with meditation. I mean, my mind always seems to race with a million to-dos and worries. How can I actually apply mindfulness in a way that feels manageable and relevant to my everyday life?
That's actually a really common challenge, and the source addresses it. Mindfulness doesn't have to be this big formal practice. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before a stressful meeting,
Huh.
or paying attention to the sensations of your food while you eat, or maybe just noticing the sights and sounds around you on your daily commute.
Okay.
The key is just to find those little moments throughout the day, to pause, connect with your senses, and simply observe without judgment.
Hmm.
And these small acts of mindfulness, they actually start to create space in your mind, allowing you to become more aware of those thoughts and beliefs and to really choose which ones you want to nurture.
I like that, the idea of choosing which beliefs to nurture. It's empowering.
It is, yeah.
So instead of letting the negative thoughts kind of run wild, you can actually consciously choose to focus on those beliefs that support your goals and your well-being.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, in addition to mindfulness, the source provides another really powerful tool for shaping your beliefs, and that is visualization. Now, this isn't just like wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's about creating a very vivid mental image of your desired outcome, engaging all of your senses as if you're already experiencing it. So think about athletes who visualize themselves, executing perfect plays, or musicians who mentally rehearse their performances.
Right.
They're basically training their brains to believe in their ability to achieve those goals. And then that mental rehearsal often translates into real-world success.
That makes sense for, athletes and performers, but can it really be applied to other areas of life, like career goals or personal relationships? I'm not sure. I'm a little skeptical.
The source really argues that visualization is a powerful tool for any goal, no matter how big or small. So let's say I don't know, you're aiming for a promotion at work. Instead of just like vaguely wishing for it, you can close your eyes and visualize yourself. You know, confidently presenting your ideas in a meeting, receiving positive feedback from your boss, and feeling that surge of pride as you're offered the promotion. And the more vividly you can imagine that experience, engaging your senses, sight, sound, even touch, the more your brain actually starts to believe it's possible.
It's almost like, tricking your brain into believing it's already happened and therefore making it more likely to happen in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool. I'm starting to see how all these practices that maybe used to seem like a little woo-woo to me can actually be grounded in science and have practical applications.
Yeah.
But what about those times when doubt creeps in, right? When you start to question your abilities or the likelihood of achieving your goals. Does the source addresses that, right?
Oh, absolutely. The source acknowledges that doubt is a completely natural part of the human experience.
Sure.
And it even offers a way to kind of reframe how we view doubt. Instead of seeing it as like a weakness or a sign of failure, the source actually encourages us to see doubt as
Okay.
a catalyst for deeper understanding and ultimately reaffirmation of our chosen path.
So instead of letting it derail us, we can actually use it as an opportunity to examine our beliefs,
Hmm.
to challenge them, and ultimately to emerge with even stronger convictions.
Right,
That's a
exactly.
really powerful shift in perspective.
It is. And, that's just the beginning. In the next part of our deep dive, we're going to explore even more practical strategies for cultivating belief, overcoming doubt, and ultimately aligning your life with those deepest convictions.
Oh, okay, great. I'm looking forward to that. Welcome back.
Mm.
I don't know about you, but that first part really got me thinking about how our beliefs shape our reality.
Yeah.
It's almost like we have this power within us to influence our lives through the lens of belief.
Mm.
And yet we so often let doubt and negativity kind of cloud our vision.
It's true, yeah. We
Yeah.
tend to give so much more power to our doubts than we do to our beliefs.
Yeah.
But the source reminds us that, we have a choice. We can actually choose to focus on what we want, visualize our success, nurture the beliefs that empower us. And speaking of nurturing beliefs, the source brings up another practice that I find super valuable, journaling.
Journaling. You know, I have to admit, I've always been a bit hit or miss with journaling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll write pages and pages, and then other times I'll completely neglect it. How does the source suggest, using journaling to actually strengthen belief?
Well, it focuses on a very specific type of journaling. It's all about recording your successes,
Mhm.
no matter how small they may seem. It's about creating a tangible record of your achievements,
Mm.
like a personal highlight reel that you can then refer back to when those doubts inevitably creep in.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not just about, like, pouring your heart out or processing your emotions, but about intentionally documenting those moments when you've, overcome a challenge or achieved a goal or even just made progress in a particular area of your life.
Exactly, yeah. It's about shifting your focus from what you're lacking to what you've already accomplished.
Right.
By regularly recording your wins, you're essentially training your brain to recognize its own capabilities
Mm.
and to really believe in its potential for success in the future. It's like building a case for your own awesomeness.
I love that analogy. Building a case for your own awesomeness. It's almost like you're creating evidence to support your belief in yourself,
Exactly.
which I can see how that would be super helpful during those inevitable moments of self-doubt, right?
Absolutely. And speaking of evidence, the source actually highlights another very powerful tool for reinforcing belief, affirmations. Those positive statements that we repeat to
Mm.
ourselves. Well, the source really argues that affirmations aren't just about, positive thinking, but that they're actually about literally rewiring our brains.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have heard about the power of repetition when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to forming habits and changing thought patterns.
Mm-hmm.
But I've also heard that affirmations can sometimes feel like forced or inauthentic if you don't truly believe, like what you're saying.
Yeah.
How does it address that?
The source emphasizes that affirmations have to be more than just empty words.
Yeah.
They really need to resonate with your deepest values, aspirations,
Okay.
and be felt deeply within. It's not about mindlessly repeating phrases that you don't actually believe. It's about choosing those affirmations that align with your goals and that you can truly embody.
Hmm. Yeah.
So it's not just about saying, I am successful over and over again, but it's about finding those affirmations that truly resonate with your personal definition of success and that feel, authentic to you.
Oh.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And the source suggests incorporating those affirmations into your daily routine, maybe writing them down in your journal, repeating them during your morning meditation, or even putting them on sticky notes around your home or workspace.
Right.
The key is just to create consistent exposure to these positive statements so they can gradually start to become integrated into your subconscious mind.
Right. It's like, repetition, repetition, repetition.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm starting to see how all of these practices, the mindfulness, visualization, journaling, affirmations, they all kind of work together to create this like positive feedback loop, right?
Mm-hmm.
That reinforces belief and kind of fuels our growth. But the source doesn't just focus on individual practices, does it?
No, it doesn't.
It talks about the importance of community as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. The source really emphasizes that surrounding yourself with supportive people, people who share your values and goals, can have a profound impact on your belief system. It's like having a cheer squad, a group of people who believe in you and encourage you to chase your dreams.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm.
I know from personal experience that when I'm around people who, maybe doubt my abilities or dismiss my ideas, it can really chip away at my confidence.
Yeah.
But when I'm surrounded by people who believe in me, it gives me the courage to take risks, to step outside my comfort zone,
Mhm.
and to pursue those goals that maybe seemed out of reach before.
Right. And the source also cautions against the opposite. Surrounding yourself with negative people who constantly doubt or criticize, that can really be detrimental to your belief system.
Yeah.
It's like being exposed to a constant stream of negativity,
Right.
which can slowly erode your confidence and make it much harder to believe in yourself and your abilities.
So it's not just about like having a support system, but it's about being mindful of the energy and the beliefs of those people that we allow into our inner circle.
Absolutely.
It's about choosing to surround ourselves with those who uplift and inspire us rather than those who, bring us down.
Exactly. And, this leads us to another really crucial aspect of the source's message,
Yeah.
and that is aligning our lives with our beliefs.
Oh, wait.
It's not just about believing in something, it's about embodying that belief in every aspect of our lives.
That's where it gets really interesting. It's about walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Exactly, yeah.
But how do we actually do that? Like, how do we bridge the gap between our beliefs and our actions?
Well, the source emphasizes the importance of clarity.
Okay.
It's about taking the time to really understand our core values, define what matters most to us, and identify those beliefs that are guiding our decisions and actions.
So it's about self-reflection.
Yeah.
It's about asking ourselves those big questions,
Mm-hmm.
What do we stand for?
Mm-hmm.
What brings us joy? What impact do we want to make on the world?
Exactly. Yeah. And once we have that clarity, it actually becomes much easier to make choices that align with those beliefs. It's about prioritizing the activities, relationships, pursuits that resonate with our core values, and then letting go of those that don't.
Right. But sometimes, even when we know what we believe in, it can be hard to actually act in accordance with those beliefs.
Yeah.
Especially when we're faced with, challenges or when it requires us to make those difficult decisions.
Absolutely, yeah. Living a belief-driven life, it's not always easy. It takes courage, resilience, and a willingness to stay true to ourselves, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient.
Yeah.
The source highlights this concept of integrity, which is essentially the alignment of our actions with our values.
Well,
It's about doing what we believe is right, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching.
integrity. That's such a powerful word. You know, it's about being true to ourselves, about living in a way that reflects those deepest convictions,
Mm.
even when we're faced with pressure to conform or to take the easy way out.
Exactly. Yeah. And the source argues that living with integrity brings this profound sense of peace and fulfillment. It's about knowing that you're living in alignment with your true self, that your actions are congruent with your values, and that you're making choices that actually contribute to a world that you believe in.
There's something so inspiring about that idea of aligning our lives with our beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
that we become living examples of what we believe in.
Yeah.
And in doing so, we kind of inspire others to do the same.
Right, exactly. It's like this ripple effect, you know? When we live authentically and courageously, it can really empower others to do the same. And in the final part of our deep dive, we're going to explore this ripple effect even further and discuss how our individual beliefs can contribute to collective transformation.
Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive.
Yeah.
I have to say, this whole exploration of belief has really been shifting my own thinking. It's
Yeah.
like I'm so much more aware now of the power of my own beliefs
Hmm.
and the choices I make, every day.
That's great. And, the source really highlights that this shift in awareness is often the first step towards real transformation. It's about recognizing that we're not just passive recipients of our circumstances, but active creators of our own reality.
It makes me think of that quote. I'm going to paraphrase it here, but it's something like, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. It's really about the power of belief.
Absolutely. And the source really emphasizes how this power extends beyond just our individual lives, too. It explores how our beliefs can actually contribute to, like, this ripple effect, influencing those around us and even shaping the world at large.
That ripple effect idea is fascinating. So it's not just about personal transformation, but like about the potential to create positive change on a larger scale.
Exactly. I mean, think about all these individuals throughout history who dared to believe in a different future, a more just and equitable world. Their belief, their unwavering belief, inspired others, ignited movements, and ultimately led to profound social change. It shows us that our individual beliefs, when shared and acted upon, can create a collective force for good.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, like, what if we all truly believed in our collective power to make a difference? What kind of world could we create?
It's an inspiring thought, isn't it? And the source really encourages us to consider, how can we actually embody our beliefs in a way that not only benefits ourselves, but also contributes to a better world?
Mm.
It's about aligning our actions with our values, making choices that reflect what we believe in, and, using our voices to advocate for the causes that really matter to us.
It's about recognizing that our beliefs aren't just like personal preferences, but that they actually have the power to shape the world around us.
Mm.
So if we want to see a more compassionate, a more just, a more sustainable world, well, we need to start by believing it's possible
Yeah.
and then act accordingly, right?
Exactly. And the source reminds us that living a belief-driven life, it's not about achieving some perfect state of enlightenment. It's not about never experiencing doubt. It's about embracing the journey, acknowledging our imperfections, and continuing to learn and grow along the way. It's about, showing up each day with the intention to align our actions with our values and to make those choices that contribute to the world that we want to see.
So it's about progress, not perfection.
Exactly.
And recognizing that even those small acts of, courage, kindness, integrity, they can have that ripple effect,
Yeah.
inspiring others and creating a more just and beautiful world.
Well said. As we wrap up this deep dive, what really stands out to you most from our exploration of belief?
I think what resonates most with me is this idea that we have far more power than we realize to shape our own reality. We often go through life feeling like we're at the mercy of our circumstances, but this deep dive has been a powerful reminder that our beliefs are like seeds, that we can choose to plant and nurture. And the more we water those seeds with intention, with action, and a belief in our own potential, the more we can create a life and a world that reflects our deepest values.
That is a beautiful way to put it. We really do have the power to create our own reality. And it all starts with the beliefs we choose to embrace. So as you move forward from this deep dive, remember the power of your own belief. Nurture it, act on it, and never underestimate its ability to transform your life and the world around you.
Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the power of belief. We hope you found it insightful, and we hope it inspires you to unleash the incredible power that lies within you.